Hello everyone and welcome to Nervous Nessie. This past weekend I actually went to Las Vegas and I wanted to take all of you with me. I actually ended up staying on the Strip, that is what it's called, where all of the casinos are running down both sides of the Strip. And I basically went through about a little over half of the casinos, just walking through, and some of them I wanted to capture and share with all of you, some tips for going to Vegas. Now, a lot of people who are not from the United States or are just not aware, if you stay in one of the hotels or the casinos, whether it's on the Strip or off the Strip, if you go onto the Strip, you can go through all of the casinos. You don't have to just walk on the street by itself. You can actually meander through all of the casinos and check out what all they have to offer. Each casino kind of offers something different for everyone. A lot of the casinos are kind of themed. If you go to the Venetian, it is kind of a Venice, Italy themed hotel and casino. Then you have the Bellagio is completely different. Caesar's Palace is completely different. New York is, guess what? New York themed. Paris is Paris themed. Circus is circus themed. You get the picture. But there's certain ones that I always try to visit whenever I go to Las Vegas because I feel like they just have a lot to offer, and it seems like every season they change things up. They change up the decor. Some of the other casinos, the decor never really changes, and so once you see it, that's it. But I definitely wanted to show you Caesar's Palace, the Venetian, and Bellagio, and try to show you some of the other ones. So let's go to Vegas. The first stop is the Venetian. At the front of the Venetian, on the side of the Strip, is an area where you can pay and ride on gondolas, and it's really pretty to sit and watch. But when you walk inside the Venetian, it looks like you have stepped into a giant painting in Italy. There's tons of shopping in the Venetian that you can do, a lot of different restaurants, but there is this ornate kind of a decor about the Venetian. There's also a walkway that you can go down that has tons of shops and a lot more restaurants. The ceiling is painted like clouds, and what's interesting is as you're walking through this area, even though the clouds are stationary, the way that they are painted, it makes it feel like the clouds are moving. Another interesting fact about some of the casinos in Las Vegas is that they actually pump oxygen into the casinos. The reason for that is the added oxygen will keep you awake, and they want you to be awake as much as possible. That way you can stay up into the wee hours of the night and gamble away all of your money. Now, if you didn't get to ride the gondolas outside, maybe it was bad weather or maybe the line was too long, they do have gondolas inside the casino that you can pay and ride there. Now, this canal does run through the main shopping area of the casino at the Venetian. If you exit the Venetian on the side where they have all of their conferences, it's a huge conference area, you can get a great view of the Sphere, which is one of Vegas's newest attractions.
Also, speaking of being outside in Vegas, you never know what you're gonna see. And I saw this vehicle that is made like a shopping cart that gives tours. Across the street from the Venetian is Caesar's Palace, which is Roman themed with all of the columns, and they do have the Colosseum there where artists can come and perform. Inside, there's lots of Roman statues, and there's also this really cool spiral escalator. I've seen escalators before, but I've never seen a spiral one anywhere else whenever I've traveled. But as you can see, it's very beautiful inside Caesar's Palace. And in the shopping and dining area, just like the Venetian, the ceiling is painted with the clouds, but the decor does change to the Roman theme. Here you have the Fountain of the Gods, where it has all of the different gods in Roman mythology, Pegasus, Zeus, and you see this throughout the casino, this kind of theme of the Roman gods. You even have a kind of hidden, tucked away area that is known as Neptune's Fountain. If you go down the escalator, you kind of have to turn back to be able to see it. The shopping area dead ends in this big, open, domed area where there is the Atlantis show. Now, the show was closed when I was there, but if it's open, it's worth checking it out. There's more shopping and drinks, a lot to see right here. And then behind the area where the show is at, there is this very large aquarium. A lot of people taking pictures in there. There is an area there where you can sit down, which is nice because as you're walking through the shopping areas, there's usually not a lot of places to sit and relax. So if you can find a spot to sit and relax, it's really nice to be able to. Next door to Caesar's Palace is the Bellagio. The Bellagio is most famous for its water show out front on the Strip. And they play music over the loudspeakers. That way, even if you're out on the Strip, you can hear the music. And the water show goes along with the music. Now, the music does change. The water show shows at different times, and it depends on when you go. So if you go to Vegas, get online and check out the Bellagio's website to find exactly when the different times are for the shows. Now, at the time that I went, there was construction on the Strip right in front of the Bellagio. So no one could really stand on the Strip and see the show. But if you're walking out of the front of the Bellagio, or if you're on the Strip and you're walking up to the front of the Bellagio, you can stand to the side of the fountain and still see the show, which is where I'm at while I'm filming this. But the show lasts the duration of the song, and like I said, the song does change from time to time, but it's really relaxing, and you want to get there early to get a good spot because it's very narrow and it fills up really, really fast. So I would say find a good spot 10 minutes before the show, because if you wait to the last minute, you're not going to be able to see anything. And if you have little ones, just try not to hold them up too high because you definitely don't want to drop your little ones into the water. Another thing the Bellagio is known for is the conservatory. The conservatory is inside the Bellagio. You have to look around and follow the signs to get there because it's kind of tucked away from everything else, but everything inside here is made of real live plants, and it does follow the season. When I went, because it was the fall starting to go into winter, they had kind of a fall theme, and it was also a fairy tale theme, which was really pretty. It does get very, very, very crowded in this area. You can take your time going through, but if you're wanting to take a lot of pictures or videos, just know that there's a lot of people that are going to be in the way, and people don't wait for you to take your picture. They just walk right in front of you. But it's really nice to walk through, and all of the plants are labeled, so if you're curious about what a certain plant is, you can read the sign and it will tell you. But I highly recommend going to the conservatory at the Bellagio. When you walk out of the front of the Bellagio, across the street is Paris Hotel and Casino. And as it starts to get dark, the Eiffel Tower lights up. And it continues lighting up until it gets fully dark. And when it gets fully dark, the Eiffel Tower will turn blue, white, and red, which is really pretty. It's great for pictures. And the Paris Hotel is Paris themed. Next, we head to New York, New York. And what's cool is inside here, they actually have New York streets miniaturized throughout the casino. They have a lot of pizza places, a lot of bars. They do have a karaoke place right here, a great karaoke place. And you may not realize it while you're downstairs, but if you go upstairs, they do have an arcade, and it's quite a big arcade up there that you can play all kinds of games, kind of reminiscent of Coney Island. And then you also have a roller coaster up there. Now, you do have to pay for all of this. I have personally never rode the roller coaster, but I did get to play some games at the arcade. The way that it works is you have to buy a card and put money on the card, and then each of the games has different points that uses up the card, but it is a little pricey, so if you're on a budget and you have kids, maybe not tell them about the arcade. But if you're there wanting to have a good time and be competitive with your friends, then check out the arcade because there's plenty of games to play. And then outside, they do have a mini version of Central Park outside of New York, New York. So that's worth checking out as well. While I was walking on the strip, I came across this Stranger Things pop-up shop. And it was completely free. You actually went underground, and once you got down there, there was a lot of places where you could do photo opportunities. You could walk through and explore different scenes from Stranger Things. So if you were a fan, you would really love this. There was tons of merchandise that you could purchase in this area, not just Stranger Things, but other pop culture items that you could purchase. And when you're walking on the strip in Las Vegas, keep an eye out for stuff like this. Vegas is always changing. I've been to Vegas. I have lost count of how many times I've been. And every time that I go, I see something completely new. There's so many hidden things and pop-up things that you can stumble across like this. And if you're walking on the strip, don't just think of the casinos. Think of everything else around you because you never know what you might get to see. I barely scratched the surface when it comes to reviewing Vegas. There's just too much to see and do. But I recommend coming here and checking it out. And tomorrow I'll be going to the Hoover Dam and to the Grand Canyon. And if you want to know whenever that video comes out, then subscribe. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you've been to Vegas or you have any questions about Vegas, feel free to leave your comments and questions below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. But until the next time, bye!